Hello, folks. Kyle here, Dark 30 Outdoors. All right. I see we got Chris Uselton in the house. Bar Run Ford. We got Bar stopping in. John with Small Water Charters. He's got the 2 thumbs up. All right. Loving it. How are you guys doing tonight? I missed last week. It just got swamped and had to scrap it. I was awful busy today too. I was scrambling. I look a mess. I'm kind of a YouTube supporters collage going on. I got my Living in Men Outdoors t-shirt, and I got my Shit Happens hat. I was up at the CJ Homestead this past weekend. A little bit of fishing, a little bit of a collab with him. That was a lot of fun. We did some bass fishing. We did some four-wheeling. We did some work in the food plots, getting those ready for fall hunting. I'm probably going to get up there at least 2, maybe 3 times this fall to deer hunting with CJ and Laura and them. Good folks. Right. We're going to Texas, I guess. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I'll have a collab video coming out from that trip up there to Northwest Ohio. That is going to be not this Friday, but the following Friday on the 20th. That'll come out. That will come out on the 20th. So that's something to look forward to. As people are rolling in, I'm going to do things just a little bit different tonight as far as my channel shout outs. I want to get those in, and I want to get them in twice. I'm going to do them at the beginning of my live stream and at the end of my live stream. And this is for folks that were trying to get pushed over that hump. The first channel shout out is going to go to Freezer Bound Outdoors. My friends Adam and his crew, Joe and them, his wife. They all do a great job, and we're coming right up on fall deer hunting season. So that's our wheelhouse. They're going to be bumping out the content. They've got their supporters. I mean, more supporters is always a good thing, but go check them out. Watch a video start to end. If you like it, then consider supporting their channel as a subscriber. But they really are trying to get their watch hours up. So bounce on over to Freezer Bound Outdoors and check out some of their videos. They've got a great channel. They're great folks. That's Freezer Bound Outdoors. Again, all my channel shout outs a link will go down in the description when this is all finalized and complete for the evening. So if you want to come back and hit the link, that's great. But definitely check out Freezer Bound Outdoors. And the next ones that I'm going to be shouting out, they're getting really close to the 1,000 supporters threshold. I'm going to start with Geo Bushcraft. Greg, super guy. I actually met him at the rendezvous that Freezer Bound Outdoors hosted. He's in Pennsylvania. Great guy. A lot of information. Man, the guy is a wealth of knowledge. He probably knows more about guns than I'll ever know in my lifetime. So head on over to Geo Bushcraft. His channel, check him out, watch a video or 2, start to finish, show true support, leave a genuine comment. We refer to that as the Boxy rules. And let's get him over that hump. He's 850, 860, I think. He's knocking on the door at 900. And then we've got the young man. Now it's going to escape me. This is what I get for not jotting down notes and being prepared. Wild Man 307 Outdoors. Morgan. We want to get him. I think it's Morgan. Anyway, Wild Man 307 Outdoors. He's been at 960 to 970 for a long time. If you don't have his channel, get over there, check it out, watch a video start to finish. His hunting, shooting videos are just fantastic. I just love it when he says, I'm going to blast him. He's got a lot of character and charisma for a young guy. His channel is going to take off. It's going to take off. It hasn't yet, but it's going to. He's fantastic. So again, Wildman 307 Outdoors. If you get a chance, definitely get over there and check out his stuff. Who else? Oh, and then Daniel at Backwoods Barbarian. He's knocking on the door too. He's at 970, 980, knocking on the door, trying to get him over that hump for 1,000 supporters. So if you get a chance, head on over to Backwoods Barbarian and check out his content. I mean, who else is clever enough to think of attaching a GoPro to a dead rabbit and getting up close footage of an owl eating it? It's fantastic. That's the kind of stuff you're going to get with Backwoods Barbarian. I mean, he's really, really got some clever stuff on his channel. Definitely get over there and check that out. And if you like what you see, then you would subscribe. Be sure and leave a genuine comment. All of those things. Hey, we got Altruistic Farmstead in the house. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well this evening. We're going to get to camping stories, but I had to throw my channel shout outs in there. Those are the ones right off the top of my head that we really want to get those folks over the hump. I don't think that if there's any, there might be one that I'm missing, but that's who I've got. And then I'm also going to shout out, just because I'm wearing their gear, Living MN Outdoors. If you don't have them, check them out. And then Shit Happens. If you like dry wit and even some goofy humor, definitely check out Shit Happens, because CJ is hilarious. He's got some really good content too, and I kind of was picking his brain a little bit and learning just a little bit about some of the finer points of the videography stuff, and picking up some tips and some advice. I might be able to implement some of that on my channel as well. So those are my channel shout outs. My allergies is beating me up. Between that and being busy, I'm like a cat on a hot tin roof. I'm just jumping. I have been on the go. I'm going to mute this for just a second and let the pup. All right, I'm back. Had to let the dog in. All right, so the theme and the thumbnail for tonight's live stream is camping stories, favorite camping stories. Yeah, Troy, appreciate it. Thanks for popping in. God bless. Hope you have a great evening. I know we all got to keep on keeping on, so I appreciate it, brother. Camping stories. We want to talk about our favorite camping stories. They could be good. They could be bad. They could be the ugly. I've got a few. Really, I have a lot. Some of them are probably pretty boring. Some of them I think are pretty funny, but, I don't know. We'll see. Where to begin? Well, we'll start with history. I've been camping since I was like probably 5 or 6 years old. So that's like 20 years, right? I'm a little bit older than that. No, it's easily 40 years, 4 decades of camping. God, I can't believe that. Around the time I was 5 or 6 years old, our family bought a trailer, an old used trailer. Nothing big or fancy, but it was, a camper trailer. It was big enough for a family of 5. We used it. We camped a lot. We went 5, 6, 7 times a year in the summertime, and sometimes get out in the fall and that sort of thing. But we went around to the state parks and mostly in Ohio. I think we might have done a camping trip at Virginia Beach a time or two. But yeah, mostly stayed local here to Ohio, the state parks and that sort of thing. We liked going down to Old Man's Cave area, the Hocking Hills State Park area in the fall, and seeing all the fall foliage and hiking the trails down there. Fond memories of that as a young person. That was a lot of fun. Hey, we got What's That Guy Doing is popping in. Hope you're doing well tonight. We're talking camping, sharing camping stories. I'm breaking it down with some history and boring the snot out of everybody. But so yeah, we went camping, trailer, had a camper and towed it all over the mostly Ohio. And then I also came up in the Scouts. I was Cub Scouts, Webelos, Boy Scouts up until I was like 17, 18 years old. So I was always going camping, whether it was with my family in our camp or, with the Boy Scouts. This week at summer camp, Camp Wyandotte, there'll be some stories from that too. So, hey, we got Tom Celtic and Everything Outdoors in the house. Welcome in. Good to have you. Talking camping. I'm sure you've been camping a time or two. So as I'll share stories, I hope some of you guys will chime in with a story. I know that can be hard to type all that out, but if you got a short one, don't be afraid to share. That is encouraged here. Especially if any of the stories are embarrassing. The one of the most profound stories that stands out in my mind when it comes to camping, and it's kind of a weird little story. It's a throwback to summer camp when I was in the Boy Scouts at Camp Wyandotte in Morrow County. Beautiful grounds. If I was going to design a deer hunting property, I'd probably just model it after Camp Wyandotte. Lots of hardwoods with good mature oaks, and then also lots of expansive like CRP fields, brushy fields, just perfect. And it had a beautiful pond. I'd almost call it a small lake. Jesus, I bet that pond was 8 acres. Somewhere around 8 to 10 acres. I mean, I would call that a big pond, I guess. A really big pond. What did it take? About 45 minutes to walk all the way around it. Anyway. What's that guy doing? He's got a great camping story. Didn't have any stakes or strings for his tent. He had to improvise. That is some awesome bushcraft improvisation right there. What's that guy doing? I admire your ingenuity. They say that necessity is the mother of invention or ingenuity or something like that. I probably butchered that phrase, but that what do they call it? A cliche. I don't know. Tom tells us he went one of his fondest camping memories is a camping in Steamboat Springs, Colorado for an elk hunt in an old army tent. And it was cold. I bet it was. That's Hey, thanks. What's that guy doing? Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. I did the reveal for the new logo. Put a lot into it. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. There's stickers in the future for sure. I don't know if I'll ever do merch. I mean, I'll do merch, but I don't know if I'll do like a merch store and all that stuff. We'll see. That's on down the road. For now, we're talking camping stories. Okay, so I told you about this Boy Scout camp, Camp Wyandotte. It's a beautiful camp, right? And we had the old canvas tents. It's nothing fancy. We all brought our air mattresses and our cots and whatever. Make it comfortable. We're going to be there for a week. Blah 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 blah. Well, for one night at every year when we went to summer camp, one night out of the 5 or 6 nights we were there was called Outpost Night. And we always left camp and we went to some remote location within the camp where there were no tents. There might be a tarp or something, but the idea is it's outpost. We're going to sleep under the stars, or we might do a lean-to or a bushcraft structure or something like that. So that was going to be that was Outpost Night for summer camp. And inevitably it always rained on Outpost Night. It didn't matter how they planned it, it would rain on Outpost Night. And my first year there at summer camp, we had a young fellow in our troop by the name of Jeff Frericks, who was the most unimposing young man you would ever meet. More of an intellectual type. Don't think he had an athletic bone in his body. Somewhat frail, but not so much that the wind would blow him over. But I hope I painted a picture for you. So this was Jeff, right? So Jeff and I, we go to first year outpost and we're making donuts. And about the time it gets dark and it's time to shut her down, lights out, storms move in. It's going to not just sprinkles. It's going to rock and roll and storm. So the counselors moved us to a satellite camp that wasn't very far from the outpost. No troops were using this particular camp. It was just a bunch of random first year guys shoved into a bunch of tents, right? So hardly anybody even knew anybody because, we're all first year guys, all from different troops. The only people that knew anybody was me and Jeff, and we were in the one tent. And the guys in the next tent over were being they were being a little bit ornery, poking the bear a little bit, trolling us a little bit. And I had a pretty thick skin, and even as a youngster, and I was able to let that stuff roll off. I wasn't too agitated, but he kept getting more and more and more and more agitated. And the more it seemed like that fueled their fire to really pick at him. So God only knows. It might be 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. Everyone's tired. Most of the kids are tired of their shenanigans. Except for them, obviously. Well, they come over to the tent in the darkness, no flashlights or nothing. They reached in and grabbed Jeff's pillow and yanked it off his cot and took off running with it. And he'd had enough. He was fit to be tied. He come out of that tent roaring and screaming obscenities and swearing, and he was going to kill somebody. And these kids didn't know. They lit a fire under a young man, and they didn't know what to think of it. So he got his pillow back, and that was the shenanigans. But man, you just would not have expected that from Jeff. Like I said, the most unimposing young frail fellow. He'd had enough, boy. He snapped. He come up out of that tent ready to kill somebody. He didn't even know if they were bigger than him or not. He was fit to be tied. So that's a story that stands out in my mind. Probably just harkens me back to my days in the Scouts and spending a whole week at camp. A lot of fun, a lot of shenanigans. I'll share another one right off since we're on the topic of Boy Scouts and summer camp. At this particular summer camp, they did this thing called the Bully Wumpus. They hid the Bully Wumpus. It was a bowling pin painted blaze orange, and I think they wrote in marker Bully Wumpus on it or something. So then the counselors would hide that. Like before the campers arrived, they'd hide it somewhere in camp, and then each night at revelry, they would give a clue to all of the different troops that were camping in camp that week. There was probably 5, 6, maybe 7 different troops each week in camp. Now, I wasn't the brightest young fellow, but I wasn't the dullest tool in the shed, but we had 2 really, really, really smart guys in our troop. So we usually found the Bully Wumpus within a day or 2, right? The first year I was at camp, that I think we found it 4 times in 1 week. That 1 week, it was ridiculous. These guys were just shrewd. And then the second year, we went out and we found this Bully Wumpus thing on day 2, and we just hijacked it. We didn't tell the counselors of the camp that we found it. We let them keep giving out clues so that other troops were still looking for it, but they weren't going to find it because we already had it. I think there was a ransom notice like the 4th night of camp, and we thought this was going to go over, hysterically, and it did not. Apparently, the camp counselors, the people who ran the camp, did not think this was funny at all. So yeah, there was some shenanigans. Hey, we got Nicholas Green in the house. Welcome in. Of course, he's drawn into the chat theme that is about camping. He's the camping extraordinaire for a young man. He's probably experienced more in camping than I ever will in my lifetime. And I previously talked about how I've been doing it for 40 years. Camping is fun, man. I just enjoy the heck out of it. Hey, we got Mark J. Larson in the house. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you're doing well. And there's Tina Ladybug. 2 thumbs up. Welcome in. Nick, you're being humble. I sure haven't ever camped in a blizzard. I don't think I'd want that challenge. I might be getting too old for stuff like that. I am I'm probably what you'd call a fair weather camper, and August is not fair weather. This is dreadful heat and humidity and bugs and mosquitoes and oh boy, I don't think I'd want anything to do with camping this time of year. I think the best times of the year for camping are like the first couple weeks in May. I know that it's getting warm and the bugs are popping, but you can get some cool nights, and that makes a difference. And then the fall. Fall is my favorite time of year. I love everything about the fall, but you give me middle of September through the middle of December. I'd love to camp in that. Let it get down to 30 in December. I don't care. I can layer up. I can keep warm. To me, that's not cold. That's That's chilly. I can camp when it's chilly. I don't mind. It's a good time to have a fire, too. And that, in my humble opinion, is the best thing about camping. It's that campfire. That's what brings everybody together, I think. And good food. Good food and a good fire, man. Yeah, definitely, isn't it? I think so. It's one of the best times for camping. I absolutely love camping in the fall. Cool out, get a good fire going, and good food. Cold nights, I love it. I absolutely love it. And then again, late spring, early summer. I don't want to be out there in the rain. That's why I kind of try to avoid April and the first week or so of May, first couple of weeks of May. But if you get into the last 2 weeks of May, maybe even the first week of June, that can be some fantastic time to camp too. I mean, especially the further north you go, get up into Wisconsin and Minnesota and camping like that first week of June, man, those cool, crisp evenings, that'd be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Okay, camping stories. I shared the Jeff story that he got his pillow stolen and he came out of that tent fit to be died. And I shared the hey, we got Tiger Muskie and M. Welcome in. Good to have you. Hope you're doing well. I shared that Bully Wumpus story. We would steal that. We would find it, and then we kind of hijacked it. Let's see what else. One memory that stands out for me when I would camp with my family was that I was a fisherman, but no one else in my family was. My mom or my dad, they didn't really care for it. My sisters didn't really care for it. It was just me. But I was all about it. I was ate up with it. So when we went camping, of course, I had my fishing gear, 2-3 poles and a tackle box, whatever. The second we got unpacked and settled, I was like, we're settled, right? Boom. I was gone. I was headed to where there was water, whether that was a pond, the lake shore, a creek, anything that had fish. I was on my way. Mark J. Larson is going to be camping at 10,000 feet in October in Wyoming on an elk hunt. That is fantastic. That's kind of a bucket list thing for me, is to get out west and do some elk hunting. Ideally, it would be somewhere where I can get an over-the-counter tag. Like, I'm pretty sure Colorado is still an over-the-counter tag. I don't know. Mark, is your Wyoming hunt, is that over-the-counter, or did you have to put in a draw for that and accumulate points over the years and all that fun stuff? I don't know how that works. At least with Wyoming. I'm pretty sure Colorado is still over the counter. They were for the longest time. I haven't looked at it for 2, 3, 4 years, but probably 3 years. But at that time they were still over the counter. And Arizona might be over the counter. I'm not 100% on that. That might be it. Unless I'm just wrong. I'm not really up to date on that, but that's a dream of mine. That's a bucket list hunt of mine. I definitely want to go out west and hunt elk. I'd obviously want to go with people that are experienced. They don't have to live there. They could live here, or anywhere really. I don't care, but I don't want to go with people that have been there and done it, and they know where to go for the trailhead and some good satellite camps where they're going to be in the elk. Obviously, in a deal like that, there's no guarantees, but I'd want to be in them. I'd want to feel like I'm in an area where I'm going to be hearing them and interacting with them and at least have a chance to maybe get set up on them. And I'd probably want to archery hunt them. Get in there early and chase them around before the guns start popping off, that type of thing. So I hope you have some good luck out there. Tina Ladybug went fishing and caught 5 mudcats. That's fantastic. Okay. So that Wyoming, it was on a draw. Okay. Are you going with an outfitter or are you DIY in that deal? And are you going with somebody else? Did they have to get drawn? There's like a dozen questions I have around that. I'm fascinated with elk hunting. I'm made up with it. It's a little bit surprising I haven't done it because I'm just so fascinated with it. I've got a cousin that lives in Oregon, and he's hunted elk and mule deer. I don't know if he's ever gotten an elk. I know he's gotten mule deer before, and he's gotten black-tailed deer before. But I don't know if he's ever gotten an elk. Hey, we got West Virginia Chad in the house. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Where are all my campers at? I had Nicholas Green for a minute. I bet he has some cool stories to share. Ready for a vacation of fishing. Yeah, I've been fishing a lot this year. Are you been a good girl? Puppy's out. I've been fishing a lot. I haven't taken like a vacation and went in destination, some far off destination and fish, but I take a day off here, go fishing, take a day off there, go fishing. In fact, I was looking at the balance of my vacation for the remainder of the year or today. I think I've got 11 days left, and I usually like to carry over 2 or 3 of those. Down. So I've got 7 or 8 days, 9. Yeah, 7 or 8 days to play with. 4 of you are going. Yeah, that'll be a good time. Hey, that's awesome, Mark. You got a nice 6x6. That's living the dream right there. That is living the dream. And Tiger Muskies is tearing up some fish. Boy, 25 white bass and 25 muskies. 2 pike and 50 trout. That is some good fishing right there. That is definitely awesome. That is definitely awesome. Kind of lost my train of thought. I was rambling, and then I got Mark answered my questions about the elk. Oh, my the remainder of my vacation. I've got 7 or 8 days to play with, so I'll utilize those for deer hunting this fall. Probably split evenly between October and November, the end of October and the early November. I haven't ironed out the exact days I'm going to take yet, but I was looking at the moon, and I know the moon is probably not the biggest factor of the rut, but I always like to target that second full moon after the autumn equinox. But it's wonky this year. The autumn equinox is September 22nd, and there's a full moon on September 20th, 2 days before that. So that would push the second full moon after the autumn equinox into late November, November 19th or 20th. I think it's the 19th is the November full moon. That feels awful late for Ohio rut stuff. I mean, we got small game comes in and all that silly stuff. So, hey, Tiger Muskie M knocking on the door of 900 subs. That's awesome. That's awesome. Keep it up, man. Keep grinding, man. So I don't know. I don't know exactly how I'm going to play that. Is the rut going to be more intense in mid-October leading up to the October 20th full moon? Or is it just going to be the young bucks getting prematurely excited? Is the real action going to be in the second week of November like it traditionally is? Those are the things that playing out in my mind. Halloween is always big for me. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be taking time off in Halloween and going up to Northwest Ohio and hunting with CJ for the weekend of Halloween. I think I know where you're going with that one, Chad. Yep. Yeah, I ran out of arrows. Yeah. I've heard that one. That's a classic. That is a classic. And Al, he did the video on the she just tears them up too bad joke. I've heard that one too. I don't know if there's anybody in here that's heard of or is a fan of Dr. Tim Stivers. He's a humorist. That's where I heard the tears them up too bad. He's got jokes. We like it. All right, so I shared when I camped with my family that I was always off to wherever the water was, a pond, a lake shore, creek, whatever. I was going to catch whatever was in the water, whether it was bass or catfish or bluegills or whatever. It didn't matter. Here's a good story. Camping with the family. This was, we were on our way home from Virginia Beach. And my grandfather had a motorhome, and he let us use his motorhome. So it wasn't ours. We were a little bit new to it, and we we got the tutorial of this is how this works and this is how that works, and we thought we had everything figured out. And sure enough, we go out there and we're camping and we stay and we get everything set up and everything works great, right? So we pack everything up and we're driving home and we're on an interstate doing 65 miles an hour, and the awning opens up and it about got tore off the motorhome as we're driving down the interstate. So we pull over onto the shoulder, and my dad and my mom are trying to put this thing back the way it goes. That was pretty hysterical. And of course, my mom was reading my dad the riot act the whole time. Camping is fun. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. How about you guys? Any of you guys got any more camping stories? Feel free to share. I've got one more I think I can throw in here, but I want to see if anybody else wanted to share their favorite camping story. Anybody done any remote camping, like in the wilderness? I mean, I guess Wyoming and all that is pretty remote. You know, you go to a trailhead or whatever, and you horseback in for a day or whatever. You mean my son? Oh, well, both my dad or my son. I don't know. I think my dad is done for this year. He knows it gets tougher in the fall around here. So, and my son is really not. I need to get him more into consistent action fishing, some good crappie bite in the fall, maybe. Maybe next spring, get him on a decent bass bite where they're pretty consistent biting. I'm rushing it a little bit on the muskie thing. That takes a level of patience that most 7-year-olds don't have. So, but my dad, next summer, late spring, early summer, hopefully I can get him on one. I was so close this year. We had one hooked up his first trip, and then his second trip we didn't get one, and it was like an hour and a half later I caught one. And then his third trip we didn't get one, and 10 minutes later I popped that one. And it wasn't a big one. It would have been perfect for him. Oh, that's perfect. The corner of the tent. That's the place to be, huh? When it's cold out. Wow, Tiger Muskie and M. A 30-30 cartridge fell in the fire. Yikes. Yeah, the out west would just be phenomenal. Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana. I'd love any of that. I would be eating it up, especially chasing big bull elks. Heck yeah. That would be fantastic. Again, either archery or Kind of honey. Either way. And West Virginia Chad, I'm fascinated with Alaska, man. I used to watch a lot of those Alaska television shows. The way they deal with the elements and everything that goes on. Those guys that are mining for gold, when their equipment breaks down, they can't just go to the parts store and buy a new part. It's new part ain't gonna be here for a month. You got to make it work and figure it out. Yeah, that's a pretty good lesson, Tyron M. Muskin M. Not to carry around rounds in the shirt pocket. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm fascinated, absolutely fascinated with Alaska. So that would be awesome. Come on, John. Don't be trolling Flavor Flav over there. Oh man. I tell you what, John would be a pretty awesome guy to have at an elk camp. I'm telling you. He would definitely keep it pretty lively. Well, John, the government pays you to live there. You get a stipend or something. I don't know what they call it, but the government pays you to live there. They don't have no state taxes. They have state stipend. I guess you got to pay to put up with those long nights in the wintertime. Good Lord. You only get like 2-3 hours of daylight in December and January. No, right. Yeah. Some of that was a little bit too much. But I don't know, some of that was for show, I suppose. I mean, almost all of that stuff has a little bit of for show, right? I mean, if everybody's just running around run of the mill ordinary lives and days and there's nothing happens, then it wouldn't be a television show. Nobody would watch it. Oh boy. Mark and John are really going at it. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Sheesh. I'm going to go on and on and on for an hour here. I'm barely going to make it. Okay, I got one more story to share for you, camping story to share for you. And if I can remember where I was going to go with this last story. Oh, yeah, I know where I was going to go with it. I don't know why I keep fooling with this empty water bottle. Okay, so camping is fun. What else is it? It's fun. It's adventure. It's exciting. It's It's challenging at times. Well, I met up with a bunch of kayak fishing buddies. We do what we call a rodeo. It's camping, and there's kayaking, and there's fishing, and there's beer drinking, and guys bring guitars and sit around a campfire. We call it a rodeo. So we do these rodeos, and I went to a rodeo, and this was like 2019. And as is fairly common at a rodeo, River Smalley's rodeo, it will rain. So we left camp to do a float, a 6-mile float into camp. And we left really late morning, and the weather looked fine. Everything looked fine. And we put on the creek. This was on the Paint Creek down there, Chillicothe, Ohio, 6 miles from camp. And about a mile and a half into the float, maybe 2 miles into the float, it started raining, and it was pouring. It just started pouring. And so we all just kind of took cover. We beached our kayaks, hunkered up under some trees, and we got on our phones and we looked at the radar, right? Well, is this a short-lived storm? Is it going to pass us by? Is it moving to the north, to the south? What's it doing? And this like massive thunderstorm cell, we didn't really have thunder and lightning. It was just pouring rain. It didn't blow into the air. It just kind of developed right over top of us. And it wasn't going anywhere. It was just staying right there. So after about half hour, 45 minutes of this, we kind of got to where we realized it wasn't going to blow over. And this was, maybe we should just paddle on out back to camp. So my friend and I, we kind of left the group. There was a group of about 8 of us. We left the group. We were like, we're going back. This isn't any fun. We were heading to camp. So we got on a paddle, and we didn't go very far. We might have went a half mile, and it was a deluge. It just started really pouring. Like, it went from a steady rain to now it's just pouring. So we again tucked up under like a dock, literally, for some cover. And again, we hung out for about 35, 45, 50 minutes. And then we thought, we can't just stay out here on this creek all day. We got to get back to camp. So again, we decided we were going to paddle. We knew we had 3.5, 4 miles, whatever, to paddle, just steady on the paddle to get to camp. So we headed out up from that, and it eased up just a tiny bit, but it was still pouring. And now the creek's turned into a muddy mess, and the water level's coming up a little bit. And we paddled and we paddled. We went 150 yards, and there on the bank was one of the guys in our party, and he was taken out at the put-in for the short float. And he waved us over. He had called the camp, so they were sending a shuttle van. So we paddled over and we scrambled out. It was hard because all the water flowing in off the bank into the creek. I mean, we crawled out of there like a couple of drowned rats. And so we get back to camp, only to realize that because it was hot that day, we'd left the windows open on the tent. We had like 5 inches of water in the bottom of the tent, and our clothes were down in there. Everything was soaked. Everything in the tent was soaked. It was a complete washout. And some of the other guys, their tents were literally in 5 or 6 inches of water if they pitched their tent on a low spot. My tent was not pitched on a low spot, but because the windows were left open, it collected the water. So there was a good 3 inches of water in the bottom of my tent. We just shook our head and were beside ourselves. It was a mess, an absolute mess. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Chad. John likes glamping. Glamping in a hotel, maybe a lodge. His checklist is hot showers, toilet, and a bed, and air conditioning. That's his checklist. They call it glamping, John. Oh, man. Anybody else? Anybody else want to share a camping story? Hey, we got Daniel popping in, or Daniel and Rachel, maybe. I don't know. But Living Man Outdoors, welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you. Are you guys going live tonight? Yeah, camping in South Florida would, especially this time of year, whoo, that'd be brutal. Brutal. Now in January, camping in Florida, maybe not so bad. I don't know. If I was going to camp in South Florida, I'd want it to be January, for sure. For sure. Anybody else? Good camping stories. Hey, there's Todd, Boxy Outdoors. Welcome in, welcome in. You're listening at work. Okay, okay. Oh, waiting for the power to come back on, huh? No, you guys aren't doing a live stream tonight? Gotcha. Switching over to Thursdays. That's cool. That's cool. Trying to think. Tuesdays, I usually try to catch Tim and Ridge Life, his Watch and Grow. Mondays is Matt, Daddy Duck. I do Wednesdays. I don't know who else does Wednesday. I think Frontier Survival, he just started doing a Wednesday night. Thursday night, I'm trying to think who used to do Thursday night regularly. Or if there was someone. Maybe it's wide open. How about it? Friday nights, I usually try to catch John and Doc. Or if the Fish Snatcher does one of his promotional lives. He's not real consistent, though, so I guess we'll see. Oh, she got little bits of that dinosaur chewed up? Is that what's on the couch?
She licked the couch.
She licked it? Oh, okay. I bet Boxy's got some camping stories, but I don't know if he's on his phone. It might be hard to type all that out. Sometimes I'm on my phone and I'm like, I can barely say hi. Find the at symbol so it'll highlight all that fun stuff.
A green spot on the dinosaur. She's chewing it up.
Yeah. Crazy dog. Hey, if she's got a small piece and you're able to get it out of her mouth, you can try.
Is it a small one?
Yeah.
Oh. Like this side?
Okay.
In her mouth?
Yeah, we don't want her to have that in her mouth. A meteor shower tonight.
I was able
I might
to
have
get
to
this
see.
out of her mouth.
Oh, cool. Here. I don't want her to have that.
No!
You found another little piece?
Yep.
Cool. Ah. Okay. Come here. Come here.
On the floor.
Do you like camping?
Yeah.
Tell everybody camping is cool.
Camping is cool.
All right, you should
No.
put pajamas on, but you don't have any, do you? They're I think they're down in the dryer.
Yeah.
Ben likes camping. That sounds cool, John. I don't know. We had some thunderstorms roll through earlier, but I'll see if it's clear, and I might look for that. Okay, I did my channel shout outs in the beginning. We've reached the 9 o'clock hour. I usually try to go for an hour. I've done an hour. I'm white. That's a super busy day. So I'm going to reiterate my it is awesome chit chatting camping with you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. But I'm going to reiterate my channel shout outs. Freezer Bound Outdoors. They've got their supporters. They're looking for some hours. If you get time, run over there to their channel, grab a playlist and let it run on your device. Leave a genuine comment. That helps too. And then Geo Bushcraft Outdoors. Greg, look up his channel. I'm going to have the links in the description below. If you don't have Geo Bushcraft, check them out. We're trying to get them over the hump. Tremendous information. Educational, shares a lot of really, really good information. Great content. And then Wildman 307 Outdoors, the young man. I'm going to blast him. I mean, he's just so charismatic. If you don't have a Wildman 307, definitely check out his channel. The link will be in the description down below. And then Backwoods Barbarian. If you don't have Backwoods Barbarian, definitely check him out. I mentioned earlier that you can get close-up footage of an owl eating a dead rabbit because he put his GoPro right on the dead rabbit. How clever is that? So, again, we're looking to get these guys over the hump. If you don't have Living Emmett Outdoors, everyone here probably does, but anyone that might watch it after the fact down the road, we want to get them over the hump too. They're on the precipice, knocking on the door of 900, I think. But yeah, my channel shout outs were all for channels that are we're trying to get folks over the hump. So if you don't have those channels, definitely hit them up. And I am going to, again, I'll include a link for all of those channels that I shouted out in the description down below after I finalize this live.
Now he looks like he's screaming.
Oh, he bit the nose off of it. She bit the nose off of it, yeah.
Yep, he looks like he's screaming.
Yeah, a little bit. That's crazy.
Get it?
The puppy's toy has been...
Now it's screaming.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I chit chat and share silly camping stories. I really, really appreciate it. I hope y'all have a great night. Thanks for watching.